because the project I did was something really good, and everyone liked it, and it got 3A rating on the dissertation project which I submitted.
Oh, that's
the
great.
3A rating is a big in this country. It's like somebody in PhD will get that rating, not on the master's degree, because PhD you're spending 3 years, and your project may get like 2A's or 1A or 3A's if it is really good. But I only spent 6 months, but my project got 3A rating already.
Wow.
The reason is because there was this little bug that lives in the freshwater, which is responsible for groundwater ecosystem. Without that bug, the groundwater will not cycle. Does that make sense? You know how ecosystem works, right? It is a cycle.
Yeah.
It has to complete.
Exactly.
If any of the chain breaks, then the ecosystem won't be there. That ecosystem will get destroyed. Which is why they stop poaching in Africa for elephants.
So this bug is part of the ecosystem?
This bug is part of ecosystem, and they were saying all along this bug doesn't have DNA. Right? So I said I had my own instinct. My instinct was, how can there be a bug without DNA? Otherwise it can't move. There's no way there is something that is living and not have a DNA. That's impossible. That is the instinct that I had. So I thought, like, let's research this. I told my professor, I think there is going to be some DNA. He goes like, don't waste your time. There are a lot of research done on that. It's not.
You see, that's where the problem is. Oh, don't waste your time. Why can't you do it again?
I didn't say anything. I said, this is my project. A lot of people wasted their time, right? But they wasted their time. It's okay. But this is my project. This is what I want to do. Even if I accept or if I find out there is no DNA, at least I will change my mentality, and I will say, like, okay, there can be a bug that could be without DNA. Then it will help me to go and find a list of bugs that will not have DNA. Yeah, because it's very hard. There's only one they have listed so far, which is this Niphargus that doesn't have it. I like, fine, let's do this. So we went to the beach. They told, like, this bug is sometimes in some season it's available near the ocean. You just have to dig some water, you know, that the sand you dig for a feet or two, and there is always seawater. You can find this bug there. They said, okay, fine. We went there. You can't see them. That's the problem. You can't, like, use nets or anything. You have to just collect the water samples, and then you have to use microscope to find. So we collected some samples. I went to the microscope. Guess what? I was very lucky. All my samples that I collected had these bugs throughout. They were like big colonies I had. So I can use them for my research. Then I started doing the DNA testing. We have a testing protocol. I was like day and night I was there trying this, trying that, trying this, trying that.
Was that done here in India?
Yeah, UK. So did everything. It wasn't working. At one point the lab assistant was shouting at me saying, you're wasting time, you're making me to stay here for no reason. I don't get extra pay for this. As I understand, the lab is 24 hours, but you can't be really here. This, the other. I said, lab is 24 hours, you shut your mouth, you wait outside. Your job is to wait outside, not inside. I used to be working, sleepless. Eventually, accidentally, I came across this line somewhere that I had to use liquid nitrogen as a part of extraction. Otherwise, if I do any other extraction procedures, even if there is DNA, it won't give us a full report or full percentage of DNA. Does that make sense? If I take your blood sample, for example, if I have to isolate your DNA from the blood sample, I must use liquid nitrogen. If I don't use liquid nitrogen extraction procedure, if I use some other procedures, I will not get 100%. I'll only get 99.9%. Yeah, because it is 99.9%, they stopped using this liquid nitrogen extraction process for last 45 years. Can you believe? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Because it's only 0.1% difference. No one wants to use the extraction procedure. I went to my professor. I said, so far as anyone did liquid nitrogen extraction procedure on this bug, He goes, no. Let me check. Then we checked our WebMed. WebMed is our internal database. No one did. Then he said, okay, let's check this science journal. We went into the science of journalism. We did all our databases. We did a full sweep. Nothing. He said, first thing tomorrow morning, liquid nitrogen extraction. I'll be with you. We'll do it together. We did it together. Result came, the bug has DNA. We wrote a full paper. We submitted it. It got approved on the same day. So he took the credit. I worked for it.
That's life, isn't it? So you say, like what you're saying, you've written document about it. If I do this research on Google, would I get some information about it?
Now you will get lots about it. But 9 years ago, there was nothing. There was nothing. So now that we know this bug has got DNA, even if this becomes small in numbers, you know, like they call it as extinct or what do you call them when endangered? Endangered species, they say, right?
They can use the DNA to reproduce.
Correct. If this endangered species means that applies to something that we can see with our naked eye. But for bugs, which are so tiny, they're microorganisms, right? We can't even see them. How the heck are we going to save them? We can't save them. But now that we have their DNAs, we can do our research. We can start doing towards like the protection of the environment. So this will fall under environmental section. But the research I did was molecular biology. Do you understand? I researched on molecular biology, which is going to be benefiting the environmental science. Not the molecular biology, the environmental science. That is how research works. So someone in environmental science might be now using this if or they need in future. But the paperwork is done.
Awesome.